Okay everyone, in the last video we went over my first short position that I've ever taken in the history of my stock market career, and I got big news because today we have that second time that we've ever done that. We just took our second short position ever, and it's this company right here. Ticker symbol NKLA, or Nikola Corporation, is the company that we're shorting. I just did this trade just maybe 5-10 minutes ago before I started recording. We shorted 400 shares at an average price of $14.57 each, which is about $5,800 worth. And I'm gonna go over in this video the reasons why I'm shorting Nikola Company and why I think that it is just an absolute joke based off of this valuation that it's currently trading at. If you like this video and like to support the channel, check out the stuff that is down below in the description. Right now we're having a $50 referral for getting signed up with M1 Finance, free stocks with Robinhood, Webull, savings accounts, my Cash App and PayPal, swag bucks, and all the credit cards that you can imagine. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe and like the video down below if you're interested. And let's go ahead and jump straight into Nikola Corporation and why I think it's overvalued. Now, first off, I want to start off by saying that in 2020, Nikola Corporation was voted by the public markets the worst company of 2020. That's right, I didn't make that up. Go ahead and look it up. It was voted the worst company of 2020. Just keep that in mind. And those of you that are up to date with the stock market, you may know about this from the sexual harassment charges with their CEO or ex-CEO, Trevor Milton, or maybe you know about this company from the short reports that came out last year and all the hype that came around this company. But long story short, I think that even today, with the massive downturn in stock price, it is still drastically overvalued. Let's go ahead and jump over to Webull here and let's take a look at the stock price. Now, looking at the year chart, during this peak of $94 a share, there was actually one point in time when this company was worth more than Ford. That's right, Ford Motor Company. You know, the company that makes Mustangs and Ford Raptors and F-150s and all that stuff? Yeah, this company was valued more than Ford on that day last year. But anyways, since that time, since short reports and CEOs being kicked out and settlements with the SEC, this company has trended down and down and down until it finally hit a bottom a couple months ago on August 16th right here at $9.02. Now, since August, for the past 3 months, this company is uptrended and it's went up and up and up, and then it's finally hit a new high over the last several months for this company at $15.56. Now, I just took my short position almost exactly where it's trading at. I took my short position at $14.57. That's pretty much exactly what it's trading at right now. And I want to show exactly what made this company go up in value. Well, what made this company go up in value was their recent earnings report. Now, in this recent earnings report, they reported huge losses, no revenue, like always. But the main reason why it went up is due to its settlement with the SEC. Right here on this line that I'm highlighting, it shows the bullet points, these 4 bullet points, but the main one is right here, which sent this stock soaring. $125 million reserved to fund potential, which by the way, the key word there is potential, not settled, the potential settlement with the SEC. And so what investors are excited about is the opportunity that, hey, maybe this company will only have to pay $125 million to the SEC due to what happened with the previous CEO. Now I want to go over and take a look at this and look at the most recent quarter that they just reported. Now, before we show the most recent quarter, let's go ahead and look at the annual. Let's look at the annual first, and let's look at the revenue. These are in thousands. So in 2018, this company had $100,000 in revenue. In 2019, they had about $400,000 in revenue. Last year, in 2020, they had less than $100,000. And so far this year, it's been zero. If we look at quarter over quarter, let's see, third quarter of 2020, zero in revenue. Fourth quarter of 2020, zero in revenue. First, second, third quarter 2021, $0 in revenue, zero, which is why we go here to the hypercharts and we look quarter over quarter. This shows revenue and operating income. Why doesn't it show the revenue? Why is it only showing the operating income? Well, that's because they don't have any revenue. This company, if I were to literally, now I'm not even kidding, if you and I, you watching, yes, you, if you were to show up to my house and you said, Jordan, you're the millennial investor, right? Yes, that's me. Let's go ahead and open up a lemonade stand. I said, okay, great, let's open up a lemonade stand. And we sold 1 glass of lemonade. We're already doing better than the amount of revenue that this company has made this year. And it's one of the largest companies on earth. Pretty crazy, right? Now we scroll down further, and this is the main reason for why I'm wanting to short this company. Now this is not annual, these are quarterly numbers. the first quarter, this is in a 90-day period, from January 1st to March 31st, during that 3-month period at the beginning of this year, they lost on the bottom line $120 million. That's, what is that? That's $1.25 million a day, if I did that math right in my head. Or no, I'm sorry, $1.33 million a day. The next quarter, from April, May, and June of this year, they lost $143 million. What about this quarter? From the months of July, August, and September, the third quarter of this year, they lost $267 million. That's almost $3 million of losses a day. Well, before we bash any more on this company losing lots of money, I do want to give some positive and negative notes on what I think this company is doing in the direction that they're moving. Just the other day, on September 27th, a couple months ago, they announced Nikola executes second purchase agreement with Tumim, if that's how you say it, Tumim Stone Capital, bringing in total to $600 million. Now, this is great for Nikola, and I think that this is the best thing that they could do. Now, this company is burning through cash like crazy. If they don't raise capital somehow, whether that be reaching out and acquiring debt from a bank, or getting some type of strategic investment, or opening shares to the public, such as this company's just, they're gonna run out of money, period. Statistically, like, just look at the cash balance, okay? If we go to the previous cash balance on the balance sheet, you see, if we look at the most recent quarterly update, they finished with, right here, about $600 million in cash on the balance sheet. Now, $600 million might sound like a lot, but when you're burning hundreds of millions a quarter, if they didn't have that strategic investment, they'd be out of money within the next year or two. Now, this is projected to continue, but before we go into that, I want to finish talking about this. This $600 million investment by Tumim, if that's how you say it right, or Tumim, I don't know. But Stone Capital, we'll call them. That $600 million investment by Stone Capital is great for Nikola. It gives them some cash, continues to build out. The only problem is it's going to dilute shareholders in a big way. And so, which means for someone like me who is shorting the stock, that eases a lot of pressure for available shares, because there's now going to be a lot more shares in the market over time. Another thing that does is that mean if there is going to be any future profitability for this company, whether that's next year or in 2030, whenever that is, the amount of profitability will be split smaller and smaller between investors. So basically, and to put it in the most simple sense ever, if we have a pizza, right? And there's 8 slices of pizza, like a traditional pepperoni pizza, right? And there's 2 of us, there's me and you, we get 4 slices of pizza each. Great, awesome, right? And if there's a second pizza, now we get 8 slices of pizza each, right? Now, let's say there's that one pizza, but instead of 2 of us, there's 4 of us. And if there's 4 of us, now we gotta split that smaller and smaller. The profits, or the pizza in this scenario, gets smaller and smaller as you divide it between more and more people, and the people being investors. And so if the slices of pizza are profit, as the pizza gets bigger and bigger, if you have way more people, if you have 100 people fighting over those 1 or 2 boxes of pizza, you're gonna get hardly any pizza, hardly any profits. Maybe that was a really corny and stupid example, but you get the point. Now, let's go ahead and go to their own investor presentation. These are not my numbers. This is Nikola themselves. I wanted to talk about when this company itself projects to be profitable. Now, in 2020, then just like they did, this was made about a year ago. In 2020, they project selling no vehicles, which they did just that. They sold no vehicles. In 2021, they're projected to sell 600 vehicles. I looked at the numbers the other day. It's going to be less than 100. I think it was like 25 or something like that. But they're projecting based off of their own estimates. When you look at the first positive number on EBITDA, which is not even technically net income, this is just EBITDA, is 2024 projected. And so if this company are to meet these projections, which I'll go into depth in that, but I don't think they will even remotely get close to this, which so far they're not on track to hit this, in their own projections, they won't even really start to be EBITDA profitable until 2024, which is a whopping 3 years from now. And even that profits that they projected is really small. And so going back to this, let's look at the projections that Yahoo Finance has based off Nikola Corporation. Looking at last year, they had earnings per share at negative 0.62. This year, they're projected to finish out at negative 0.86, so the loss has increased. Next year, it's expected to be negative $1. And so if these analysts are right, and I 100% agree, I think that these losses will continue. Oh, I just hit Coco in the face, my bad. If these losses continue to get larger and larger as the company tries to scale, as they try to big factories, as they try to do more research and development, they have more SG&A expenses, as they hire more employees and stuff like that to build out their factories, I think that these losses are gonna get massive. Because right now, to sell their trucks, assuming they can sell their trucks, they're going to be selling them at a massive loss because it does not take millions of dollars to build out an electric vehicle company. It takes billions of dollars. This can be seen by Tesla, for example. Let's go ahead and go to Hypercharts here and let's look at Tesla. And this is by far and away the most backed company in terms of the electric vehicles. And this is a company that has incredibly high demand at unprecedented levels. It's one of the largest companies on earth for a reason. If we go to net income here and we look year over year, Tesla, the company that's been public for almost a decade now, you see 2012, a loss, 2013, loss, 2014, loss, 15, loss, 16, 17, 18, 2019, losses. In some of those years, even like 2017, we're talking billions of dollars. And this is for the most successful electric vehicle company in the world and the first to come to market. And this was at a time when there's really no competitors in the electrical vehicle market. Now, if we look at 2020, that's the first time this company had ever produced a profit on an annual basis. And even relative to the company's size, that's still not massive. And they're just now starting to become, if we look at the quarterly reports, they're just now in 2021 starting to produce some reasonable sized profits, producing $1 billion+ a quarter. And so what makes you believe with Nikola, now that you have massive competitors out there like Lucid Motors and Tesla Corporation and who even knows, even the big dogs, the old legacy businesses like General Motors and Ford, what's someone's reason for buying a Nikola motor company, right? Forget all the numbers for a second, okay? If everything I said was just wrong, forget all those numbers. Forget the quantitative side. Look at the qualitative. Look at the vehicle. The vehicles look fine. These are some example photos and they show some progress for their factories, and that's great and all, but why would a large corporation start buying these electric vehicles that is a no-name, that has little to no reputation, and is just now building out their factories, when you could go with someone like a Tesla, for example, that has billions of dollars behind it, has extreme levels of demand, or forget Tesla, how about any other car company out there? And so not only is there tons of competition, I think that losses will ramp, I think that shareholders will continue to get diluted, and last but not least, the last thing I want to talk about is the valuation based off of future projected sales. Let's go ahead and pull up a calculator here just so I can give you guys an example, just to show you how dramatic this is. Now, they're projected next year to do $148 million in revenue. I don't think they'll hit that, but let's pretend that they do. If we go to if we go to Webull here and we look at the valuation, the stock price is still trading almost exactly what I shorted at, which is about 5.9 billion. So if we take 5.9 billion and divide by the projected revenue next year, we'll even round up, call it 153 billion. You can see that they have a forward price to sales of almost 40. Extremely rich. Now I know you might be saying, Jordan, that revenue's super small. They're still building out their factories. And you'd be right. The revenue growth's probably gonna be incredible. Probably 100+%, right? So let's pretend that in 2023, that they just obliterate this number. Let's say that they have 300+% revenue growth in 2023. Okay, let's pretend that, which that's not going to happen, but these are extremely bullish scenarios, and so we're just going to use this as an example. Let's say that Nikola has $5.9 billion market cap today, divided by $500 million in sales in 2023. In 2023 example, there's still a forward price of sales of 11.8, which is still extremely rich, and this is also in a scenario that I think is extremely unrealistic. And so overall, guys, between the things I see with Nikola, with massive losses, the bad marks that they have with the SEC, the massive payments that they're going to have, dilution of shareholders, what else have I forgot? Extra competition from the electrical vehicle market, and overall, I just think that this is the perfect opportunity for a short position in the market. If you follow me in my channel, you know that I have had some incredible returns over the last month or two and absolutely destroyed my investing goals. Looking at this little chart here, go into my Google Sheets spreadsheet spreadsheet that I have. If we scroll down here and we look at my November 1st goals, where my portfolio should have been at on November 1st was 32,000. It was at 37,413. Where I'm supposed to be at in terms for me to reach $1 million by the age of 40, my portfolio needs to finish out about $33,000 of this month. And as of today's trading, right now as we speak, this is live. Here, let's go ahead and give a refresh. As of right now, my portfolio is at 38,538. And so I'm looking for an opportunity to take some chips off the table and look for short opportunities in the case the market takes a downturn, because right now things have been flying high. But overall, guys, I'm really confident in my position. Let me know down below in the description if you think that I'm making a horrible decision, if you're going to be following me on this, or what you just think down below in general. And if you like this little dumb cat that's been asleep in my lap all day named Coco. But anyways, guys, go ahead and take a look at everything down in the description. Like we mentioned, $50 to get signed up with M1 Finance, free stocks with Robinhood, Webull, all that good stuff down below. Subscribe and like the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Say bye, Coco.